Recently, my videos have either been fiercely unhappy or aggressively angry. So today, I'm going to gush about something I love. But before that, please like and sub, otherwise I will break into your house and leave a lawn gnome. Just one. And I'll never tell you where it is, so you'll just one day open up your cupboard and find a lawn gnome. As a kid, I read many graphic novel series, none of which disturbed me more and had consistently great villains than the Bone books. Don't get me wrong, Amulet was much scarier, but that series fumbled so hard that it tripped into itself, forming a black hole of dumb. But that's a topic of a later date, because today I want to talk about one of my favorite villains, and the reason I have read the Bone books at least 4 times. That's right. Today we're going to talk about the tragedy of Kingdok and his descent from a king to a powerless puppet begging for death. To understand Kingdok, you must first understand the main antagonist of the Bone books. This is an entity referred to as the Locust. The Locust is a nightmare entity that is pretty much just the devil if the devil had a cool sounding name, because the Locust sounds really freaking cool. Anyway, being a being of pure thought, it sought to destroy the world out of rage, as it felt it was wrong when living creatures were formed, because living creatures impeded on its purely non-physical world. To do this, it possessed the queen of the dragons, but was subdued by the rest of the dragons. It is in the service of the Hooded One that we find Kingdok. Kingdok is the chief of the rat creatures, a race of terrifying, man-eating humanoid beasts that really enjoy quiche and are really cute when born. Wait, what? Let me... Okay. After checking my notes, I have discovered that my script was correct. Baby rat creatures are adorable. See Bartleby. And there is one rat creature that has a very strange, borderline unhealthy obsession with quiche. Truly a man after my own heart. But that's besides the point of why Kingdok is one of my favorite villains. And to answer the question of why Kingdok is my favorite villains, we get a very simple answer. Character progression. Like every truly great show, Bone grows with its audience. As the audience grows older, each subsequent volume of the book becomes increasingly mature. Shows like Samurai Jack or Cleopatra in Space epitomize this idea. Well, the Amulet series doesn't, and falls flat because of it. Samurai Jack and Cleopatra in Space both treat the audience with respect and grow in depth as that progresses, because they know that you are getting older and, you're not a kid anymore and you want something new. So they give you good progression. Samurai Jack is a story for a different day, though. Back to Kingdok. Kingdok starts the series as this imposing but still comedic force, like all the rat creatures. He's set apart by his massive size and visible mouth. His design is not great, at least not yet. And I'm not too proud to admit that. He looks like Pac-Man, if Pac-Man did drugs. In the early volumes, he serves as a sort of furry Mr. X, as he chases the characters around. He is seen to be completely subservient to the entity known as the Hidden One. And again, that's the reanimated corpse of one of the main character's great aunt, who is being possessed by the Locust. No, I'm not going to explain it. Yes, you should read the Bone series, as it is fantastic. Anyway, Kingdok's fear of the Hooded One is the first moment we realize that Kingdok might not be as grand as his name and status would suggest. I think this is it also points to Kingdok as maybe not being a wholly evil character, as it seems that he joined the Locust less out of a need for carnage and more because his goal simply aligns with the Locust. The Locust's desire to end all humans would ultimately be beneficial, as Kingdok could defeat his people. I know trying to argue the point that he's not evil because he wants to eat mankind isn't great, but actually have no counterpoint to that. Anyway, in the third Bone book, Thorn cuts Kingdok's arm off. This is the first moment we see Kingdok become disfigured, and this will transform his design into something that haunted kid version of me. He's believed to be dead at this point after getting his arm chopped off, but of course he isn't. Then you get the second point of mutilation, and what solidifies him as a great villain. This big cat named Rakja tears out his tongue. This is fantastic because it allows the cat to use a cat got your tongue pun. Anyway, I didn't make that pun, the book did, okay? You can't get mad at me for it. Anyway, the point is, Kingdok is reduced to slurring his words until his death at the hands of the Bone family. He dies a pathetic death, horribly disfigured in pursuit of carrying out the Locust's will. A once great king reduced only to a wretch. Thank you for watching. I mean, because it's over, right? I mean, after being buried in a landslide, surely he wouldn't come back. I mean, I've never used a fake out video ending in a video, right? I've never done that, ever. Of course he'd come back. This is like the third fake out video I've done. See, there is one more scene with Kingdok in the book, and it is what solidifies him as an all-time great villain for me. I am, of course, referring to the Crown of Horns confirmation with Thorn. Yes, Crown of Horns confirmation with Thorn does sound like a really messed up Dr. Seuss book, but I assure you it is actual plot points in this book series. In an effort to end the reign of the Locust, Thorn Harvester, one of the main characters, seeks out an ancient draconian artifact known as the Crown of Horns. Why it is called this when it looks like essentially someone just shoved a bunch of stalactites together and made them glow is beyond me, but that's not the point. This is when Kingdok shows back up for one final confirmation. The brilliance here comes in part from how unexpected it is. Kingdok has not been seen for, I believe, an entire book at this point, so when he shows up, it's a surprise. Kingdok, however, is no longer recognizable as the same character from the beginning of the series. Between his missing arm and horribly mutilated face, he has now become a nightmarish monster, a far cry from his once Pac-Man-like appearance. Thorn asks Kingdok to let her pass, stating that the Locust has betrayed both the humans and the rat creatures. But she of course, fails because she tries to reason with something that is so empty it cannot be reasoned with. Kingdok says in no uncertain terms that this is the only way. To get to the Crown of Horns, Thorn must kill him. He says that he was once a king, but is now only a puppet. In no uncertain terms, he demands that Thorn kill him. Thorn still refuses to kill him, so Kingdok pulls one final trick out. Kingdok goads her, telling her how he was the one who ate her parents when they were still alive. He is desperate for a final battle, but personally I think he is desperate for an executioner. The once proud Kingdok has now been reduced to a mutilated husk. He has so fully devoted himself to Locust that there is no redemption for him. He cannot let Thorn pass, lest he be forced to admit that everything he has strived for in service of the Locust was wrong, and thus be forced to admit that he had driven his people to destruction. His life has been rendered empty. His pride will not let him turn back, but his pride is also what will not allow him to live in this state. The look that Thorn has after Kingdok tells her he ate her parents says it all. It's a twisted mixture of rage, sadness, and pity. Even after being goaded, she still recognizes that Kingdok is a tragic figure who only truly wanted what was best for his people. So she does not try to kill him, and only ends up killing him in self-defense after Kingdok bites down on her leg. Kingdok dies in that moment, but in a sense, Kingdok was already dead long before this scene. Kingdok stands as a tragic villain who was too proud to die and too proud to live. A king manipulated into becoming a hollow shell of himself. I've loved the Bone series for a long time, and it is mainly because of Kingdok. If you haven't read the books, I would recommend you go do so. Remember, please like and sub. It means a lot to me. I also, please comment. I love reading your guys' comments. I love responding to you guys. It's always a highlight when I get to see a little red thing next to that bell icon. So, please do that. Anyway, like always, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Peace.